Hello, this is Malorian, and this is the Orc Tactical Team, and what we're going to be talking about today is Empire and 8th. So, some of you guys might have noticed that in the end of 7th, I was loving my Empire, playing them all the time. I called them the Welsh Legion, and I just love that army. But all of a sudden, 8th, I just have stopped playing them. Now, is that because they've gotten worse? No. Actually, the reason why I stopped playing my Empire is because I feel they've gotten too good. The reasons for this are all across the board. So let's just go across some of their real strengths in 8. First of all, their war machines. With templates not counting partials, and with them having things like the mortar, which is the large blast, like the hell blaster, which is the large blast, strength 5, and with the cannons not needing to guess anymore, their war machines are devastating. And even with, you have to worry sometimes, well, what if I scatter with this mortar? Well, now with people taking huge hordes and a lot more numbers, even if it scatters, you're probably going to be still blasting a whole bunch of guys. So it's huge. The next big thing that you need to have in 8th is really good magic. And for Empire, they have some of the best. Their wizards can take any single one of the main 8 lores, so they can have just the pick of the litter. Their arch lectors and their priests can generate extra dispel dice. So really, if you wanted to, there's no reason why you couldn't have 12 dispel dice every single phase, right? All you have to do is take more of the guys, and there's probably no reason for you not to have an arch lector as your general anyway. And then, of course, when you put them on the war altar, you're getting that free spell as well. So very powerful magic defense, very powerful magic offense, and you even have things like the casket, so they can be rushing up and stealing spells from the opponent so that they can be getting their best stuff off. So very devastating stuff. One of the next things you have to talk about is for their infantry. So one of the important things to have in 8th is you need to have really cheap infantry so you can get these big blocks stay stubborn. Well, they have these 5-point models they can get this huge infantry from. Before in 7th you would take swordsmen because they're best, but now halberdiers are the best. They have the strength 4. Who cares about the defense now anyway, right? A lot of people are going to be taking great weapons or whatever, so the fact that they don't have much of a save doesn't really matter. The main thing is you're going to be hitting hard and killing lots. So for me, when I'm looking at what a core block should look like in 8th, that's probably going to be about a 40 halberdiers, a horde style, with a priest with them, so they're all re-rolling the hit in the first turn. You want to be supported by a detachment, probably. I mean, you don't even really need it. You can just go for kills, because if they're stubborn, they're not going to be auto-breaking them anyway, but it still is nice to have that flank and the disrupt. And if you want to disrupt now, you're going to have to be at least units of 10, units of 9 won't work anymore, because you need at least have a rank, and then you at least have to have a few so you don't lose it. So I'd say about 15. And to make them more defenses, I'd say swordsmen. So you have your big block of 40 halberdiers, your detachment of 15 swordsmen, which are totally optional. I mean, if you could take those out if you want. And then I'd also say you should take a detachment of just 5 guys, right? And the reason for those 5 guys is just to run up. You might not be able to do the whole bait and flee things and redirecting anymore, but the whole thing about them is that they're at least going to be a speed bump, a 25-point speed bump that's going to run up, die, but it's going to give you another round of shooting, which, like we just said, with all that war machines, is just going to be devastating, and it can be a huge difference. Another thing that you need to have for combat is you need to have strong infantry with great weapons. Now, in 7th, great swords were pretty useless. It was kind of debatable. I liked them usually, but for most people, they didn't really fit into their tactics that they had going for their army list. But in 8th, they're great because they have better armor than the other troops. They have the good weapon skill of 4, and they have great weapons. So if you take a horde of these guys, not only are you going to be hitting extremely hard, but you don't have to even worry about not having all those ranks because you're going to be stubborn anyway. So that is a very powerful center to your unit. I mean, if you just start off with your Empire army and you think, all right, I'm going to have my horde of great swords, 40 of them here, on their flanks is going to be the 40 halberdiers. Already, you got a very powerful line. You throw behind that the all your artillery, and you still want to have that bunker for your mage. And the nice thing about having a bunker is you're going to want a bunker of 20 guys, and the reason for the 20 is, of course, if it's a watchtower. So depending which one you want to go with. Obviously not spearmen, because spearmen are useless in it, and a watchtower, but with either swordsmen or halberdiers. This is a unit of 20 that'll be sitting in the back with your mage, or they can hold the watchtower if you should happen to get that mission. So very powerful stuff there. Another thing to be looking at is with the knights, right? So really fast attacking stuff. The lances have now fallen out of favor, but Empire is one of the few armies that can have a knight that has a great weapon, and even apart from this, they're going to have a 2+ save still in combat. So these guys can be devastating, right? Rushing out, doing a lot of damage. Great for throwing onto the flanks, you know, adding the extra damage to the combats, rushing war machines, clearing out support units. Hell, if you really wanted to and you want to be crazy, you could even take a horde of them because there's no maximum size to the knights. And this would be a unit that would be hitting hard, huge super defense. It's just one of those kind of horde star builds. This would be almost impossible to stop unless you have another really powerful horde star that's a good counter. So, wow, I mean, they just seem to have the best of all these worlds. They have the best shooting, really good magic, really good combat. I really can't see why Empire is not going to be doing well in 8th here. And so that's why I trade them away, just because personally they did not meet the style that I wanted to play. And although I could change them to be how they'd be good in 8th, they just be too good and nobody would want to play against me. Now, the last thing I want to talk about Empire is that I've been talking kind of negatively about how they're kind of, I guess I haven't really said overpowered, but you could be led to believe that, certainly. That doesn't mean that if you ever meet anybody that plays Empire, that, oh, look at this cheeky bastard, I want to play this guy, he plays Empire. Well, no, there's still going to be a lot of people out there, just like for every army, that play a more balanced mix, that aren't out there to be playing, you know, to kick your ass and destroy you right away. You know, even going to tournaments, they'll be the ones that go to tournament with the best builds, but they'll be the ones that go there with these mixed builds as well, right? Just there because they love Empire, they love the different things, and they're not there to be going over the edge. So please don't think that if you see an Empire player that he's going to be a cheesy player. Just know that if you are going to say Ard Boys or something like that, just know that that possibility is out there. Another thing I can be throwing in too with kind of an interesting thing they have is the steam tank is toughness 10 now. So it's really tough, hard to even take out with war machines, but same old thing, if you ever do a couple of wounds to it, it's pretty much useless. A little bit of synergy here, you give your mage the Lore of Life, all of a sudden you can be healing this guy. So, yeah, just kind of like how with Lizardmen healing up Stegodons, this can be just devastating and just mean, and hopefully you won't see a lot of it out there because it's just deadly. Some of the things I'd stay away from, things like handgunners and crossbowmen, stuff like that, I wouldn't really bother with it because to have the frontage to make them effective, it's going to be getting in the way of your blocks, and really for the same points, you might as well be taking one of those war machines. So it's not really that effective. The only way I could see if you want to go with it is if you're going to go with the whole marksman idea, and so you can snipe out characters, just because now how characters are so critical, you know, if you took enough of them, you could be sniping out a BSB or their general, and that would have a large effect. But if you aren't doing that, I just stay away with them and go with war machines. So there you go. Empire, awesome in 8th. If you play it, hooray. And otherwise, next time we're going to be talking about orc magic and the different spells and their uses in 8th. So see you then. Bye.